Hello, everyone. Tonight we are ceremonying the new moon in Pisces. It's also a super moon, and we prepared amazing program for you. So we will do an intention setting together. We will tell you the astrological informations about this celestial event, and Jansu will tell you much more also about the connection with Shiva, and she prepared also a guided meditation for you. And at the end, we will close it with a poetry manifestation ritual.
Yes, hello everyone. Today is also, as well as the new moon approaching, today is also the Mahashivratri. So the Hindus and Sanatana Dharma are always celebrating this day as a really important day. Um, and fasting on this day and celebrating all night with rituals and meditating and doing puja, which are special rituals in Hinduism, is common on this day. And today we will also sing a mantra about Shiva in its whole meaning and explain the meaning of what is Shiva and the meaning of this mantra and how do we connect with Shiva in all of his meanings and forms. And then after that, we will have a guided meditation together and unite our circle to our different stuff after that.
So, welcome again for tonight's new moon ritual in dreamy Pisces sign. So I will tell you some informations about this cosmic event and which energies are ushering us. So Pisces sign is the last sign in the zodiac circle, and it's also known for being the wisest sign and the most emotional one. So we also have a supermoon, and a supermoon is happening when the moon is very close to the earth. And this is right now. So this is not just a typical new moon, it's also a supermoon. And although we do not see the new moon, we are feeling its energy extra strong. And new moon is also connected with the yin energy, which is the more intuitive, more passive one. So also activities where you slow down are also very favorable during this moon phase. So yeah, so having so many supermoons in a row indicates also that we are really being supported to begin with a new chapter. So this is the second super moon we have within this year. And new moons are a great portal to focus on this energy of new beginnings. And this is also our intention for tonight. And yeah, it's also worthwhile mentioning that we still have 0 planets in retrograde. So we have a lot of forward moving momentum supporting us from all angles of the cosmic skies. So tonight we will use these gateways of super new moons to bring new, fresh, and inspired energy into every corner of our life. And all in all, the March new moon is the best for holding that vision and allowing you to create inspiration to soar. And yeah, the new moon is also the start of a lunar cycle, and the full moons are the peak of the lunar cycle. So the full moon that is following after this new moon is actually a lunar eclipse. So this new moon is also the last new moon before the eclipse season starts. So the next full moon, which is the lunar eclipse, we will have on the 25th of March. And so the intentions we are setting tonight and the following days have a big power until the next full moon. So yeah, so that's very, very special. And as I said, the new moon represents the start of a new cycle, and this new cycle is leading us into the fresh energies of the astrologic new year and the transformative energies of the eclipse season, which starts with the beginning of the spring. So yeah, you might also feel the energy of an ending, even if it's the new moon, which is connected with new beginning. It's the last new moon in the astrological year before the new astrological year starts. So that's also why it's a bit also connected with endings. So the Pisces new moon ushers us to dream. And it's our chance to set intentions and visualize what is that we would like to create moving forward. We also may feel extra creative at this time and find ourselves imagining, daydreaming, and conjuring up new inspirations and ideas. So the March new moon is actually one of the best in the year for tending to our creative fire and diving deep into our dreams and intuitive practices. And we are also going to feel supported when it comes to these areas of our lives. So make use of this energy and give yourself permission to flow. So this energy is about riding our feelings, flowing with what comes up, and trusting our inner voice. So this energy doesn't want us to get wrapped up in our mind with all the details. It wants us to listen to the heart, to trust, to flow, and to be okay with not knowing the way. So this type of surrender, this level of trust does not come easy, but the new moon is asking us to ride this wave. So if you are going through a challenging time, try to avoid controlling or planning and instead get into your body. Feel your way through the situation and be okay with taking each step as it comes. So one day at a time, one moment at a time, just be present with what is. So yeah, this is a warm invitation for you to do so. So as I also mentioned shortly, the eclipse season starts also this month. So I also want to give you a short information what this means. Eclipses are always a highly transformative period in the year. So they tend to bring change, shift, and upheaval that allows us to level up and reach a new evolution of consciousness. So just a minute. Sometimes it's happening that one eye wants to cry and releases tensions. So yeah. And that's also the amazing thing, to feel really into your body, and your body, this tingling sensations your body is also giving you is, yeah, it's very individual and has also a specific meaning. And yeah, just feeling it and without overthinking too much. So yeah. And yeah, eclipses tend to bring a change, a shift, and upheaval that allows us to level up and reach a new evolution of consciousness. And it can be also a very challenging time as well. But when you're aware that this challenging time is awaiting you with the eclipse season, you can also take different actions because your consciousness already knows this and acts differently and not so surprised. And yeah, so eclipses always put us where we need to be. So this is also like a divine course correction, which is happening during this phase. So the eclipse that follows this new moon will shine in a spotlight on our relationships. So we may begin feeling hints of that work under this Pisces new moon. And later on, when we do our poetry manifestation ritual, we will also connect with the topic of relationship as well. So yeah, we also find maybe ourselves feeling more compassionate and forgiving. So we may find our romantic side takes over and helping us to soften and mend the rifts. And however, while this is a beautiful energy, we do not need to be mindful of making decisions with our rose-colored glasses, just surrendering to its cosmic shift. So I also want to shortly mention that maybe you felt within this week, all in all, much more emotional than normally, or you also felt very tired and all in all, an energy where you just want to stay at home and more slow down, more this yin energy. And yeah, so I want to mention that there is this year one of the most important astrological events happened on Tuesday, March the 5th, the Aries Chiron North Node peak. And this day was also a portal day. So on this day, we also had a healing breakthrough. Maybe you felt this subconsciously or also consciously. When I think back, I felt on this day a very strong energy where I felt much more tired than usual, but I also felt an emotional roller coaster. And this is, and healing does not mean that this is always sweet. It can also be bitter and not that sweet, but this is how a healing process is working. So this energy is connected with October last year. So it's an invitation to accept our wounds. And we do not literally have to heal them immediately, just having compassion for that and accepting them. And yeah, so also questions maybe popped up for you subconsciously or also consciously, like, who am I? Where do I want to go? And what gifts do I have to offer the collective? And yeah, and we still can feel those energies. And all in all, with the new moon and those portal days. So maybe you also feel that all those puzzles are, that the puzzle pieces are getting put together for a bigger picture. So it's a big, big healing process and breakthrough. And I wanted to mention this as well. So yeah, those are all the cosmic news. And now my dear friend Janso will continue with another ancient wisdom and energies which are ushering us tonight.
Thank you, Eileen. That was a beautiful summary of the skies and the effects of the skies on us. I feel so much more sensitive to everything that's happening since we started doing these live, like Zoom circles. I'm getting more in tune with like how our feelings are almost always related to what's going on, like all of these aspects and conjunctions and squares, everything that's happening all the time. Because normally, like, you don't really think about it, but when you're researching and you know it, like, as an information, then you start to notice these patterns and all of these like, why am I getting triggered in this way, in this specific way? And like you start to associate it with planets and their cycles, and then it gets like really deep. So I've been feeling it for a couple of months now. I don't know when we started, it feels like months. But yeah, so today I also started researching and came up with a lot of things that are happening. I will shortly mention some aspects and stuff, but I will mostly share this information like as a PDF or something because it's kind of long. And then we will move on to the Mahashivratri and Shiva part of the evening, which I love. So I will share my screen with you also, which looks chaotic. So, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that kind of stuck out to me, which is, first of all, this new moon is also in the 25th lunar mansion, which is in Arabic called Sad al-Akbiya, which is named after a star that is known to reveal what's hidden. So this star is good for relocating things that are lost. So this might also be like esoteric knowledge or like stuff that you want to dive more deeper into and really see the truth of. This is a really good time for introspection, this means. Um, and it's also in the midpoint of the planets of Saturn and Neptune. So yeah, revealing what is hidden with the Neptunian effects. And then yeah, kind of bringing up this grand plan of the cosmos and pushing the limits of our minds. Wait, I have too many applications open, sorry. Ah, okay. Yeah, and then there are some details that I won't mention for now. Yeah, so this about the star, because I think it's exciting. It's helping us recover what's lost and indicating also Venusian nature, which is also kind of like amplifying the Neptune effect of um, yeah, creativity and unexpected gains, good fortune, artistic appreciation. So all the things that we are focusing on our circle today with the manifesting, which is also creative. So it's really supporting us to get introspective. And then the etymology is also interesting because in the past people were camping, right, in the plains and they were nomadically living. So when this star came up in the sky, it meant that they pack up their tents and um, they can move to the spring lands. So it's also because of this known as the warm supermoon, because the ancient people were like looking at the earth and the worms are coming up and oh, it's like the spring and we have to move, that kind of thing. And yeah, the etymology is meaning like packing up the tents. And it's on the Aquarian, this star is in the Aquarian star cluster. Yeah. And then this is meaning that this is a good time for making new ventures and general success in our enterprises. So if we would like to start something new, like setting an intention or making a move about like our intentions, it's a good time for that also historically, because this is when the nomadic tribes used to do this when the star came up, right? I really love this, like how it's so connected still. And this is the basically showing us where the star is right at the place where the water is pouring down. And this is some stuff about, really long stuff about the star that I won't really bore you with, but yeah, it's always in the history, astrologers talked about the star, Sadalakvia, in this sense that it's helping us in planting new seeds, our new projects and endeavors. So it must always draw from the water of wisdom and deep knowledge, which Aquarius also represents because the star is in the Aquarian cluster. Yeah, so we must make sure it's reminding us that like when we're setting our intentions, it has to be, for it to be long lasting, it has to go in the flow of the collective. And always it was mentioned in this time of sowing new, like planting new seeds. Because in the astrological, like in the year, when it's coming up, it's also a good time for planting. I just love it, how it connects to the material world as well as the esoteric meaning. It's like a parallel. And then, yeah. So according to Ptolemy, the stars in the stream of water have a power similar to Saturn and Jupiter. So dignified, pious, conservative, and retentive. So like going inwards and yeah, culminating that energy. And then this is another star that is also active right now, because Mercury is in this position of the Sheat star, which is a star that's prominent in the charts of poets, philosophers, and inventors. So it's good for new inventions and setting intentions. Also supported by this fixed star, because fixed stars are important in astrology and in the way that they support us and affect a lot when they're in conjunction with planets. So yeah, it's the Sheat star demonstrates a love of the intellect and a desire to break with conventional thinking. Her words are marked with the love of freedom and striving for independent thought, which is a good little inspiration for today. And then coming to Mahashivratri, I will also be sharing more the detailed slides with you. I just didn't want to bore you with all of the like little nitty-bitty things, but in general, I really like that these two stars are also supporting our Piscean inspiration and creative elements that are going on right now. One of them is like discovering the hidden potential, Sadalakvia, and the other one is like inspiration and intellect combined with Mercury. So it's like supporting from both sides. And yeah, Mahashivratri. And this is a depiction of Shiva. Salutations to Shiva who dwells in the Kailash, Mandara, and Mahendra mountains, and who takes away the sorrows of the three worlds, because Shiva is Trimegustus, like Hermes. So meaning that he is actually, sorry, where am I? It's like a lot of noise outside, but it's also a yoga studio during the day. I accidentally extinguished my candle. Must like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so meaning Trismegistus is meaning that Shiva is actually present in all three realms and powerful in all three realms. So the underworld and the human world and the upper realms, right? The heavens. And Hermes is also a well-known figure that is, you know, ascended master, so to speak. and a messenger of the gods because he can travel through all of these worlds. And this is meaning transcending life and death and transcending the human body and becoming reincarnated. So you become eternal. And then we see this in a lot of traditions. When someone raises their consciousness to this level, they don't get reincarnated, and they can travel through realms and through bodies and through existences. And we can follow different mythologies from different cultures to see the same thing. So in the example of Shiva, we see these 3 lines, and then we see the Trishula, which is this 3-headed spear or trident that is representing the unity of the male principle, the female principle, and in the middle is the Shushumna Nadi, right? So the 3 nadis, sorry if this is a repetition of what you already know, but there are 3 energy channels on every person's body, and the whole idea of yoga and the whole idea of like ascending one's consciousness in the Hindu tradition and all of the spiritual traditions actually is about balancing the feminine and the masculine. So there's always the divine feminine and the divine masculine, always expressed in different ways, and the eternal dance, like the sacred marriage of, you know, the sacred masculine and the feminine. It's all talking about unifying this duality and ascending our consciousness beyond life and death, because when we think about it in this way, life is actually masculine and death is feminine, because it's infinite and encompassing the life force, and life is like more action and masculine. So we can think about all of these things in this duality, and we can also unify all of these things in our introspection and meditation practices. So yeah, we talked about Shiva being like Hermes, which I love. And then, yeah, also like a lot of the other ascended masters are in the same way can transcend all realities and are like 3 Megistus, so 3 times great, meaning great in all realms, right? 3 realms. So some forms of Shiva that we can talk about are Nataraja, so the king of dance, Kal Bhairava, so the fierce form of Shiva depicted in the Tibetan painting over there on the right. So when he's Kal Bhairava, he's like black and scary, and he's usually outside of the temple to scare off the asuras and demons. And then the Shankar, like the holy version, and the Mahadeva, king of the gods. The Rudra is also a fierce version. And then the Dakshinamurti, which is the 10-faced Shiva depiction. So there is a lot others also. So many sort of avatars of Shiva are coming up. And they each evoke a different emotion. So unlike the other god figures that have a set perception, because he is kind of really related to this primal force that is really like even before Brahma expressed. Yeah, I forget the name of this, like in Sanskrit, but this is a primal life force energy. And even like before, I mentioned it in one of our meetings before, before like Indra and other elemental gods came up, they were all defined by this like creative force energy that was everywhere. So yeah, and in Trimurti, there's Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, so the Trinity, Holy Trinity in Hinduism. And Shiva, in this sense, is the destroyer. Brahma is the creator, the creative force, and then Vishnu is the organizer and keeper of the order, and Shiva is the destroyer of this, right? So kind of like a Kali character in that way. And also represents liberation. So this is important for us in Mahashivratri also. Like liberation from our body, our stories about who we are, our identity, our senses, our perception of reality, freedom from all of this, liberation from all of this, and what remains is our true essence. That is the God particle, or like the God self, you know. And in Islam, we would say maybe the Muhammadi consciousness, you know, the consciousness of Muhammad or the consciousness of Jesus. Like it's all talking about the same God self, right? That is inside our self as we know it. So inside ourselves. Bizden içeri gibi orada bağlantı kurdum. So she was considered the great yogi. So he totally absorbed in himself and transcended the reality, right? And he's the lord of all of the yogis. So he's the Adi yogi also, the first yogi, and taught yoga to all the sages that came after him. So sort of like in the stories, always there's one that's ascended in consciousness, and then in conversation and co-creating with God, like so ascended in that consciousness, and then he's sort of gifting the rest of the world and the students this knowledge of unity. So in all of these stories, there's a parallel like thing that is happening in this way. And in this way, he's teaching yoga to all the sages. And then Pashupati is another name for Shiva, meaning the lord of the animals. And I just feel this drawing is so much like so many symbols that we can think about right now. Like I'm sure something is getting evoked in you also with this, like all the animals surrounding him. I think about Davud, the prophet, and how he was like in his voice communing with all of the nature and affecting all of nature in the Quran and in the verses. So it's kind of like when you get to a stage of, I'm talking about this as reading the symbols, of course, and comparing the symbols from and archetypes from different traditions. So when you ascend to a certain consciousness, you start to flow with the entirety of nature and become one in consciousness with the animals and with the entirety of nature. So this Pashupati, meaning the lord of animals, Pati means lord, is meaning this kind of total oneness and flow with nature. So in that state, that happens. And this is before Shiva, as we know Shiva, proto-Shiva, right? So meaning this like creative force that was before the establishment of the gods and the traditions as we know them today. And some more forms, which I love, like that there's so many forms, because it's a bridge actually between like the divine realm and our realm. So somebody that's meditating on Shiva can look at these icons and these different formats of him, right? Different expressions of him, and they can build a connection, like an emotional connection, or with their own lives. Like, oh, he has a body, I have a body, or he's depicted as having a body. I like this, right? Because it's like a bridge of, I feel like it's like a bridge of, you know, you can have God consciousness in human form while you still have a body. As you can see on the right, upper right side, he's also depicted as a householder, and he has his wife Parvati and his son Ganesha, which was the king of the ghosts that are always surrounding him. Because Lord Shiva is always surrounded by sort of like this fierce army of like ghosts and other beings, so as to show that like these beings are also part of nature, and also death is also a part of nature, and destruction is also a part of nature that is useful and necessary. So he like when nobody wanted them, he like collected all of them and said like, you can follow me, you know. And the Bhairava is the fierce form on the left side, again like a Nepal mask depicting him. And then the meditating yogi form from Rishikesh on the downside left. And then the dancing Tandava form, Nataraja, on the downside right. And the Pancha Brahman, so meaning like 5 mantras in the middle picture. So he has 5 faces there. So all different expressions of the same energy. And then the lingam, which actually is used in the Sanatana Dharma. So like when the Hindu priests are actually making these rituals, the puja, they use this form of Shiva. Not the pictures and the depictions as a human, but this form. Because in the Linga Prana it states, Shiva is signless, without color, taste, smell, that is beyond words, without quality, motionless and changeless. So this is also relating to the form, like the principles of the universe. So I like the word there, and that's why I included it. It's the source of the universe is signless, and a union of unchanging principles and the ever-changing nature. So there is unchanging principles of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So you can see this like phallic sign, and the divine feminine like you know, circle that's included. So it's like including the masculine, around the masculine, right? So this is a divine feminine encapsulating death, encapsulating life, darkness, encapsulating light. So it's like the space, you know, the dark matter that's encapsulating all of life and our planets and all of the light sources, all of the stars are swimming in space. Space is the divine feminine, right, encapsulating. So this is showing that the unchanging principles of the universe and the ever-changing nature is the part where the priest is putting, you know, the jal, the Ganga jal, and the water and the milk and the honey and all of these things to do puja, to do the ritual, to connect to it. Like that is the changing nature that is relating to it, right? That is always in harmony with it. So it's a great metaphor, I think, to relate to. And very interesting also that it's a black stone, but we won't go into that. Yeah, so usually like on Mahashivratri, the priests are using this lingam, so what we saw here, to do puja. And they're not using, and the priests are usually called pandit, they're not using the other forms. But this form, we know in terms of a lot of iconography, it's very important. So I wanted to also include it, and this is the more like when you go to people's houses in India, like they have usually like a place to do the puja, like a ritual table, and they have the gods there. Or if you have other friends that relate to different religions, like sometimes they have photo of their gods, and they, like I had Haitian friends that also do the same thing. Like you talk to the spirits there and connect with them and give offerings to them. And it might also be an ancestor altar, right? So this is usually the form of the gods that they use in that sense, like in their daily pujas, in their home. And you always see like a picture of Shiva hanging somewhere, a picture of Vishnu, no pictures of Brahma, but different reason for that. Different gods and goddesses like pictures in the human form because it's relatable. And it's like a bridge of like, yes, I can find the divinity inside myself. And this is how I kind of like adding commentary to that in my own way, relating to that in my own way. Because he's formless and everywhere, but also in a way we can relate to him because he didn't always used to be. In the stories, the gods were not always immortal, which is what I love about Hinduism. They're not from the beginning immortal, but they become immortal because I'll tell you this little story about Shiva. There is a poison that nobody wants to drink in the world, and it's my favorite story about Shiva. Nobody wants to drink it because none of the gods and none of the demons are yet immortal, and they think that if they drink this poison, they're going to die. And then, if nobody drinks this poison, it's going to take over the world and poison everything in the world, and nothing is going to be good, blah, blah. And then Shiva just takes the poison and he doesn't know that he's going to like live, and he thinks he's going to die, but he takes that chance to save the world and he drinks the poison that no other gods want to drink. And then the poison is in his throat, and in the story it's like Parvati is like trying to keep the poison in his throat to like get it from spreading to his body. And then it starts to get blue from his throat, and the throat center is also blue, the chakra color. It starts to get, his whole body starts to get blue, and then he sort of dies and then becomes immortal at the same time, which is also parallel to Sufi tradition. When we say like you have to, a lot of poets and people that are in love with God, we say, you know, ashik, carrying the love of God inside. So we have a word for this called ashik. They always say like you have to die before you die, actually die, meaning like you have to surrender your ego, and you have to surrender your who you think you are and your senses and everything to God, and this like complete surrender to your path, you know. So this is this meaning, I think similar here is like he dies before he dies, so all of his sins die, all of his like worldly attachments die, and the same way in Sufism. So he's not, you know, doing too much eating or like too much. He has no attachments to anybody, and just becomes the first yogi in that way, like perfect, perfect devotee. So first you have to become the perfect devotee, and then you become immortal in this, all of the stories. Like you become sort of, you remain throughout death, even if you die. Like your consciousness remains intact, or that is like hinted in all these ways. So he dies and he becomes blue because of that, but he's not dead. He is, with the Shakti inside, he's also alive. Yeah, and then we see the Kundalini raised to his neck, and he becomes immortal. And then this Amrit, so the eternal like flow of this like heavenly water is like flowing out of his crown chakra, Sahasrara, like showing that he's connected to the entirety of the universe. And we see the Trishul, meaning that, you know, I've made all of these like dualities into one, and so he reached oneness. And he has this Tambru, so he has the drum that he plays, and all of the other gods come in the in all the stories. And then we see in the background the lingam is like a mountain. You see the lingam on the right side, and then there's like water flowing, and he's sitting on top of this post, like he's sitting on top of this like animal skin, showing also like he's overcome his animal nature. Yeah, so this is a general information about Shiva and some connections. I hope that it's inspired you as it inspires me. And now we will start to do our meditation. So we can sit in a comfortable way and start to breathe deeply from our diaphragm. And you can start to close your eyes. And I will also sing a mantra that means a lot to me, actually. And then we'll have that guided meditation. Om Namo Hiranyabhave Hiranyavarnaya Hiranyarupaya Hiranyapataya Ambika Patayam Uma Pataya Pashupataye Namo Namah. Om Namo Hiranyavale Hiranyavarnaya Hiranyarupaya Hiranyapataye Ambikapatayam Umapataye Pashupataye Namo Namah. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Brahmatipati Brahmatotipati Brahma Shivone Astu Sada Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Brahmadipati Brahmatotipati Brahma Shivone Astu Sada Shivam. Tatprushaya Vidmahi Rudramurtaye Dhimahi Tanno Shivam Prachodayate. Vakvishuddhaya Dhimahi Rudramurtaye Dhimahi Tanno Shivam Prachodayate. Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trambakaya Tripuram Takaya Tripagagnikalaya Kalagni Rudraya Nilakantaya Prukti Unjaya Sarve Shwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The meaning of this is, I trust in the divine essence, eternal nature, to form immortal, eternal Lord, Lord Parvati, and Uma, Lord of wild animals. I submit myself to you. Lord of knowledge, Lord of all that exists, Lord of Brahman, the Lord of supreme knowledge, the universal spirit. I am Shiva, I am the eternal Shiva. We know the supreme intellect, we meditate on pure knowledge. We know the great deity, meditate on the form of Rudra. Shiva can enlighten us. I salute the divine Lord of all, the great gods from the third eye, the three worlds, the bearer of the three fires, carrying the fire of Rudra, the blue sprinkled with ashes, which triumphs over death, Lord of all beings, eternal Shiva. I surrender to great deity. Now start to breathe deeply. And just with each breath, connecting deeper with your inner world, deeper with your spirit, and inhaling the prana, the life force, through your nose, and concentrating on your nostrils in each breath. And as you breathe out, just releasing Hold the tension in your body a little more. Each breath, surrendering a little more. Your feet are relaxed, your legs are relaxed, your sitting bones and hips are relaxed, your stomach and your ribs are relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed, your arms and hands are relaxed. And with each breath, you're inhaling the life force a little more strongly, inhaling the prana through your third eye, through your nostrils, and through your crown chakra, and letting it flow into your body, surrounding your entire body in light, healing. And with each exhale, releasing your muscles more deeply, and getting deeper and slower and more relaxed. Inhaling the life force and exhaling, surrendering. Inhaling, healing divine light from the universe. Exhaling, and relaxing more. Inhaling all of the energy of the cosmos, of the sky, and exhaling everything that we want to let go of. Inhaling, I am Shiva, I am pure consciousness, and exhaling everything that is not me. Inhaling, I am pure consciousness, and exhaling everything that I'm releasing. Inhaling for the last time. I am pure consciousness, and exhaling everything that is not me. And slowly see yourself sitting just as you are right now, sitting here. See yourself sitting right next to an ocean on the shore, in your mind's eye. Imagine the sand that you're sitting on. Imagine the breeze that's in the air, that's touching your skin. Feel the smell of the sea coming in through your nostrils, and the little moisture that's coming, and the smell of the moss. And really feel yourself right next to this ocean of oneness, this ocean of pure light and pure love. Now, as you start to imagine yourself next to this ocean of oneness, and as you're staring at everything that was ever created in this ocean, all of nature, all the beings that once lived and still live in consciousness, they are all connected to this ocean that you're looking at. And you can feel the unity that's looking at you from this ocean as you just sit next to it. And you start to think about an intention that you want to carry with you as you also surrender to all of the energies present with us today of the new moon, of Shiva, the first yogi, of oneness, and of light and love. As you feel all of this energy of the sky that is supporting you, and the energy of Shiva that is there for you today, the Sky Father, connected to all of nature, connected to every living being. As you feel His support and feel the oneness that is looking at you from nature, that is surrounding you, what would you like to create today for yourself? What is your intention as you're in the sacred space? It could be a word, it could be a feeling that you want to feel more. It could be a prayer. Whatever feels good to you. Just keep breathing deeply. And as you sit next to this ocean and supported by all of this cosmic energy today, all of this potential to release what's not working and recreate, reimagine with this Pisces energy what you want to create, with this strong energy of oneness, the strong Father energy of Shiva. What would you like to create for yourself? Focus on that in the next few breaths. And do you feel like you would like to release anything that you feel no longer serves you in this moment of creating your new reality? Maybe you can also feel that, because this is also a good right time for releasing all of our bodily confines and all of our notions of who we are and transcending our consciousness. So maybe something also pops up about what you would like to release. And make sure these are really clear in your mind. Maybe expressing it in one word or one feeling. Something I'm creating, something I'm releasing. And keep breathing. And feel yourself getting more still and deeper in your mind's eye, deeper in your concentration, your inner self, your spirit, with each breath now. And when you're ready, you start to feel yourself get up and slowly approach this ocean that's in front of you. Very slowly, see yourself right at the edge of this ocean, almost touching it. And with your next breath, you walk inside the ocean and feel the pure ecstasy as rising up from your feet. The pure ecstasy of love and infinity and oneness rising up from your feet. And with each breath, now see yourself walking deeper into the ocean and see the water slowly rising. With each breath, infinite love, infinite unity, all of creation is opening its arms to you and welcoming you as the water rises and engulfing your body slowly as you walk deeper and deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper and deeper. Now see the water that's come up to your heart space. And you can feel your heart beating in unity with oneness, with the entirety of nature, with the life force that's in every living being, and the life force inside all of nature, the life force inside all of consciousness. You can feel your heart beating with it in tune. And slowly you start to walk deeper and deeper into the ocean. The water is rising, and now you start to feel your body slowly dissolving, slowly becoming one, slowly losing sight of what is your body and what is this ocean. Where does one start and where does the other end? Slowly you lose sight of who you thought you were as you surrender this infinite love, infinite creation, infinite oneness. The water is now at your crown chakra. As you breathe in, now you try to remember your intention of what you wanted to see today, what you wanted to create, manifest. And as you breathe, you feel your intention on top of your head, right where your crown chakra is, right at the edge of becoming one with everything. And you start to breathe to your intention and send it to your crown. And with each breath, you see it empowered and stronger with the life inside your breath. See your focus reverberating, the word you're focusing on, the feeling you're focusing on. See it reverberate on top of your head and your crown. With each breath getting stronger and bigger in size, and spinning around your crown chakra in a clockwise motion. See it spinning and getting stronger in pure white light. And now take a deep breath right up to your crown and hold your breath and feel the energy of your breath powering up your intention in your crown. And then as you release your breath, see yourself fully getting engulfed by this ocean of oneness and unity, releasing everything that you want to release. Just sending both our intentions and what we want to release in the same space, because the infinite energy of the cosmos knows what to do with it. So releasing everything, your body, your intention, everything that you're holding on to that you no longer want to hold on to, all of the feelings that you're carrying inside your body. Now you release it into this ocean of love and unity. And feel this energy just healing everything that you want to heal inside your body. Send it to places inside your body. And actually feel your entire self just engulfed by this pure light and love that is all healing, like the womb of the cosmos. And you can see this white light, this ocean made of white light that's surrounding your entire body. And maybe other colors are also popping up, like blue or purple. Just observe what this ocean looks like for you now as you're swimming inside it, fully floating inside it, effortlessly and with no gravity. And just with each breath, feel the sensation and root it deeply into your body, into your cells, into your consciousness. Seal it, this infinite power source of healing and oneness and love and wisdom that is creation. Feel it and save it inside of your cells as information that you can access to anytime you wish. Make that pathway in your mind's eye. And then very slowly you can begin to again feel the space that you're sitting on and feel your fingers and your feet and feel the air on your skin. It's coming back to your senses and carrying this knowledge of this infinite source with you into your reality right here, right now. Very slowly, no rush. You can massage your body in places that you want to. Send this healing again as you wake up, start to wake up. Again, no rush. And just making sure to, when you open your eyes finally, just make sure to look at the world from this inner place of realization, an inner place of knowing, of oneness, and softness, unity. Like, what if our sight even was coming from a place of unity? And you can also thank yourself for taking this journey deeper into yourself.
Thank you a lot, Johnson. Hmm. Wow, this whole ancient wisdom and Shiva's energy and also the new moon energy with the Pisces energies, all those symbols, they're all connected, and this whole geometry is so divine. And I really liked what you said also about surrendering and really also letting go and also setting intentions. And this describes Pisces energy so good, since this is the last sign in the zodiac circle. It's all also about endings. So it's about dying to make space for your rebirth. And also those symbols and the connections with the elements and also with the seasons are magical. So the spring is around the corner and we already feel feel this. We listen, we can hear the birds, and we also see some flowers blossoming. And this also means that we start blossoming again. So after this winter season
Yeah.
of introspection connection and also of tuning more into us and slowing down now with spring season, with the beginning, with our rebirth. We also make now space for those new beginnings and also the connection of death and rebirth. And this really small lining between those realms is
Yeah, can
magical.
I
And
say something that just made me remember because I was thinking about sharing this during the meditation. You know, like when you have a general idea and then like you just, you know, there's kind of like inspiration, like oh, I want to go here in this meditation, like that's that sort of thing. And then I realized, you know, in the middle of it, like wow, we are surrendering and like creating at the same time. So like we are releasing in the same space that we are also setting our intentions and releasing them in the same ocean. And that's kind of like life. Like we sometimes try to make separate spaces for these things, like creation ritual and like manifesting ritual and releasing like separate realms and separate like ideas, but really life is all encapsulating these two energies, you know, all the time. Like we have to release something to create something new. Like the universe is sort of, or all of life is holding space for us to do this all the time. And that's kind of a realization I had while I was going through that with you. I wanted to share.
And I love this realization you had. And that's also in my journey with the sacred moon circles and ceremonies I am doing since the pandemic years. So it's already 4 years doing this regularly. Um, I also noticed with the full moon, where you can also do manifestation as a ritual, but also the let go. The new moon is always the second chance you give yourself also to rethink about the things you already planted seeds on full moon, which is also a culmination of this energy. Also the letting go, you also create something new. And then on new moon, you think again, oh, the things I created and the seeds I planted, are those the things I really want? And you give yourself a second chance also to rethink about it, because also with this energy change with the moon, the influence on us, when the moon is not visible but we still feel the energy, we also feel somehow empty and not that full anymore. And this emptiness is also like being more intuitive, more passive, also wanting to stay at home and also to being in your own sanctuary and not sharing so much outside. And that's what I love also about our online rituals. We are all in our own sanctuary and we share this with us. And yeah, this has a very magical influence for us, but also for the collective. And yeah, so very mesmerizing. So very beautiful. And this meditation and the whole ancient wisdom, I think this helped us now for the poetry manifestation ritual we will do now. So I requested from you to prepare a bowl of water. So I took this as a bowl and I put water inside. Since the sun is in Pisces, which is a water sign, and the moon is in Pisces, we are very connected with this water energy. And now after the magical surrendering guided meditation, we already went into the water, into the ocean, and now we will create our new life, our rebirth. And so I will also share some nice music with you when we do this. I will also share my presentation, but before we do so, you can burn your Palo Santo or sage again, and you can take your essential oils you have. I have also cinnamon here and some roses, rose water, rose oil, honey. You can also use anything you have at home and any herb you feel connected. And in case you also have some gemstones, You can also place this next to you. I have this nice amethyst tree, which I got as a birthday gift, and the amethyst stone is also very connected with Pisces. It helps to calm the Pisces energy. And in case you also have some rose quartz, you can also place this. But selenite is also a great gemstone for any kind of rituals you can use as well. And it's fine when you just place this at your altar, and then after doing the cleansing and purifying of our space, you can intuitively start putting those ingredients into your water. So it's really up to you what you want to put in. And with everything you put into your water, do it very consciously while putting those things. Like you put those ingredients into your life. This oil, like I'm using here now rose oil, and I put some drops into it. So you can start doing this. I will also share some music in the background while we do this for the nice atmosphere. So you literally do a cocktail of your own water boil. All you have, all the ingredients you want to put into your life. Of course, you can also put gemstone into the water as well. Like we are filling up our cup. Lots of love, compassion, trust, clarity, power of surrender. So I will show you the cup, the bowl of water with all ingredients I put in. So you see also like a seashell, some roses, some herbs, gemstones. I also put some honey into it. Also rose oil, rose water. Anything I felt connected with this energy. And I put also the selenite, a stone, also opal and citrine. I felt like putting those gemstones into my water bowl. And see this bowl also like you're offering on your altar the whole weekend, while you can put this also next to the window so that this water bowl gets connected and infused with the new moon energy. And this is also the offering from you to your ancestors. On your altar, you're offering and celebrating and sharing your gifts. So as a symbolically. And when we start with our poetry manifestation ritual, we will do the closing of it when you take some of those drops, and you will drop some of this sacred Pisces new moon bowl to your poetry to activate it. And all in all, you can see this as the connection during the whole weekend with the Pisces super new moon energy and your offering for your ancestors. I will also purify it again with Palo Santo, and then I will start sharing my screen again with you for our poetry manifestation ritual. So you can also slowly come to an end. So I start sharing my screen again with you. So we already talked about the new moon energies and also the portal day with Chiron North nodes. And now we do some creative things with the influence of Pisces sign. So all you need is a piece of paper. You can also use your journal, or maybe you have a ritual special notebook, workbook you're using. And there are different ways how we can do this poetry manifestation ritual together. And I will tell you some more information and give you some inspiration, and then I will turn on also nice meditative music while we are doing all our intention setting. So Neptune is the planet of hopes and dreams, and due to modern astrology, also the ruling planet of Pisces sign. traditional astrology, Jupiter is the ruling planet of Pisces. So Neptune is active under this new moon and is creating some wonderful supportive energies around our intention setting, and especially when it comes to our future. So what future would you like to create? And where do you see yourself in 6 or even 12 months from now? And I created some questions you can ask yourself. And while you also ask all those questions, when you start doing the poetry, you can also close your eyes and connect with this question, and also close your eyes, and also you will see that some words, some feelings, emotions will pop up, and this is the way you can do this very poetry in a poetic way, this manifestation ritual. So you can do this as an affirmation if you wish, or just the free writing as well. Don't worry about a structure or a rhyme or something like this. And do it how it flows without any structure. So Pisces is not about structure, it's just about flowing. And you can also, in case you feel connected, also with word association. So maybe there are some words you feel immediately connected with your intentions, and you want to write down those words. It can also be like an 8-word story or poem you want to write down. You feel a strong connection with. And then you will see, while you write those things down and tune into this romantic, spiritual, creative flow, that all those puzzles get one picture. And working also visually is also helpful and useful. So the homework after this poetry manifestation ritual is also an invitation that you can create within this weekend a vision board for yourself, for the visual part of this manifestation process. And it's really, really favorable to do it also visually, with pictures you feel connected, which are also pictures connected to your life goal. And it's possible to do this digital on your phone or tablet, or maybe you also have some magazines at home and you want to cut it out and also create something on a piece of paper. Everything is possible. And in case you do this digital, you can also use this as a as a screen for your phone, so that you see this so often. And in case you do this with some magazines, you want to cut off some pictures, I would recommend to place this vision board somewhere where you see it daily. It can be also your bathroom or your toilet or whatever, a place where you are very often and you are forced to see it. So yeah, so we will start now with the poetry manifestation ritual, where you're writing it down. But for sure, while you're writing it down and tune into this energy, there will pop up a lot of imaginations, and this can be a nice continue for you afterwards to create a vision board out of it. So yeah, I have also another screen with the questions. So what dreams are emerging from the depths of my soul? And how can I embrace compassion and understanding in my relationships? And after I turned on some music, I will share those 2 slides again, so that you can read those questions, feel into it, and answer those who you want to answer. And even if you do not have an answer now, it's also very healing and already intention setting, thinking about it and putting this question and asking this question and putting it to the universe. And you will get those answers divinely in different ways. It can be also in a song text, in the lyrics. It can also be randomly when you are walking outside and then you see maybe a ad banner or something else. So just be very present and conscious, and you will get those signs from your spirit animals and from your guardian angels. So, okay. So let's turn on some nice music. And we will start creating our poetries. And for the first two questions, I also want to invite you to close also your eyes and imagine your perfect day from start to finish. So imagine the perfect relationship or job you intend to have. And as you do this, be sure to focus on how you feel. And as you are watching your imagination, it can also run very wild. So lean into each of those feelings and know that this magical practice is helping you, and send your wishes out to the universe. And since we get ushered from the creative Pisces energy influence, you can also draw something instead of writing down some words. So do it very intuitively, whatever comes. And there is no right or wrong doing this ritual. So reflect also on the symbolism of water in Pisces, and how does the ebb and flow of emotions impact your decision making and relationships? And also what aspects of your creativity and imagination you can nurture with this cosmical energy. And also ask yourself in what ways you can surrender and trust the flow of life. As I said, it's fine when you do not have the answer yet. Just feel the answer, how you want to be, how you want to feel, and in which environment you want to be in, which colors you want to see, which energies you want to be surrounded, and in which community and collective you see yourself. When you trust and surrender fully. And which feeling this community and collective gives you. And of course, you can ask yourself also in your new relationship. It can be a romantic partnership, but also business partnership as well. Or maybe new friendships and circles you want to be part of. And ask the same thing also about your career, the job you want to do, and the customers you want to serve. And also your bosses you want to be in connection with, or maybe you want to be your own boss. And the beautiful thing about Pisces is they have a very, very strong, dreamy, creative power. So it's the perfect timing for exploring your imaginations and going very, very wide. Everything is possible. Do not set yourself any limit. Never forget that you are the creator of your life. And we need several new moons to really achieve with our goal. But even if we do not see some blossomings yet, a lot of things are happening underneath. And the magic of life is also to have still a deep hope and be disciplined and to go after what you want. But it's also important when you have a big goal and vision that you are not so narrow focused on something specific, so that you do not close yourself from other blessings who are also on your way. And who are also maybe much more blessed than things you thought would fit well into your life. That's also the magic of life, to knowing what you want, to dreaming your dreams, but also being so open for new things, because divine universe has so much more to offer us than we imagine. And those questions you ask yourself, you will also get the answers in your dreams, since Pisces sign is very connected with the dream world. I noticed it for myself that I am dreaming much more during the Pisces season, and I remember my dreams much better than before. And you can also start a dream journal and all in all connect with your subconsciousness in this dreamy way. So it's a very, very favorable timing also for lucid dreaming. And maybe you also feel a bit more tired than other seasons or phases you have been, and that's also very normal. We want to dream a lot during Pisces season, so our body needs also much more rest. Mm. And very often our dreams does not make so much sense, but when you focus on the colors you have seen in your dreams, or the symbols you have seen, or people who showed up, or the feeling you had during this dream, this already tells you a lot. And sometimes it's also just processing the day or the week you had. But very often there are also so much more things to discover, which is deep in your subconsciousness, which needs to get healed. So since this portal days and this Chiron North Node activation is still prominent, we have really a breakthrough to this healing. And yeah, having a lot of compassion for your wounds. And also compassion for others as well. So when we feel much more tired or emotional, that's also other people feel similar. Some are not that conscious, but having compassion for the wounds of others as well, and not taking anything personal during this phase when everything is a bit foggy, which is also very prominent for Pisces. They can enter a room and immediately feel all emotions very strong, like a sponge. They're absorbing everything, and then they need a lot of solitude time to understand those feelings and understand that some feelings and emotions are not their emotions. They just absorbed them so that they can connect with those things they really feel within them. And those energies are ushering us all, even if you do not have Pisces in your astrological birth chart. this is a collective influence and energy right now. So yeah, let's have 5 more minutes for our poetry manifestation ritual. You can, of course, also answer the questions later on. Some questions need much more answers than right now in 5 minutes. So slowly, let's come to an end to close the poetry manifestation ritual. I can also share those questions in our group. So, wow. I feel emotional, but in a way where it feels purifying. So today I wanted to show my artistic creative side with putting some glitter into my face. And all in all, I had some cries within this week, and it felt good. So embracing yourself while you have those big emotions and feeling them, and also understanding that those emotions are coming and going, and it's so purifying. So this is also a beautiful phase to cry, and also to connect with water, to have a hot water bath, and or a nice long shower. And yeah, so when you finished your poetry manifestation ritual, I want to invite you that you put some of this drops of the water you created in your water bowl to your piece of paper. And do this also within the weekend when you have some new ideas you want to journal and write down. You can continue this, and also with your vision board, you do that you put some of those drops to the thing you created, the piece of paper, as an example. So before closing the circle, I have divine feminine oracle cards, and I want to pull a card for us, for the collective. And oh, okay. I wanted to pull one, but two of those cards wanted to show up, and I will tell you which ones. So the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. So I pulled this card. I transform pain and suffering into greater capacity to love. Wow. This resonates a lot with our whole ritual and the topics we worked on. And the second card, which also wanted to be seen, is Mioshan, the Princess of Mercy. And giving is receiving. The energy of the universe is merciful.
Can I say this really resonates with me because I feel like lately I've been just working so much with like really positive and good things, like starting up my own yoga and healing space where I'm at, and just so much work that came with that, and always feel like running, like doing. And then I was feeling very exhausted about that, and always having to remind myself, like, this is good. Like, I'm, doing my Dharma. This is good. I'm doing my Dharma. I'm like almost dead. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is Dharma. Like each time in my inner voice. And I feel like this card is just again reminding that, sometimes we feel like we're doing for others, but really we're serving our own dharma and doing for ourselves. So it's a good reminder. And I also want to share, like, I pulled a couple cards, but I felt this one really resonated with the day, with this new moon. And the high priestess is always relevant for me, like always, in terms of unifying duality, which is always the conversation between the two pillars. So what we talked about with the trident of the Shiva, we see here also with the 3 pillars. And then we see the ocean of the intuition. So, and the crown. So yeah, may we all be blessed with this intuition of that is being supported with the Pisces and Neptune, hopefully.
Thank you a lot, Chansu. So thank you, everyone. And please like this ritual. Leave your comments how this experience was for you. And yeah, we will continue sharing our sacred workshops and rituals with you. And we appreciate every support. So thank you.